What do you got to say, Sabina?
Magandang tanong. Ang paggamitin ng Taglis, Tagalog English, ay karaniwan sa Pilipinas.
Philippines. Learning languages is always fun. It allows you to communicate with different parts of the world, and while studying Tagalog, it reminds me of when I first came to the Philippines and my uncles took me to a Girlie Bar when I was there.
Hello, kuya.
I'll take that one. I'll never forget that night. But in terms of how I'm doing it, I have a variety of tools that I'm using to keep things interesting while I'm studying. And what's quickly becoming my favorite tool to use is the coveted ChatGPT. Now, what's cool about ChatGPT is that there's an extension that you can get if you're using something like Chrome called VoiceWave. And I'm not sponsored, I just really want to share this tool because it's really fun and it's really cool. With the VoiceWave extension, you can actually change the language that you can talk to ChatGPT in. Being AI has something very similar to it, but unfortunately the language that you set it in has two major issues that I ran into. Number one, it doesn't understand the native language that you're typing in if you set it to a different language. So if you need to ask a question in your own language, Bing AI won't understand it. And secondly, what follows is that you need to be proficient in the language you're studying to even have a conversation. So it's not a great studying tool, it's a good practicing tool. Now I have it set here in Filipino, or I guess Tagalog, as the input language. And you can change the text-to-speech depending on your settings. So here I've added three languages, and you can see these icons here where it has text-to-speech. Now, some languages don't have text-to-speech because they don't have that full suite, but if I wanted to, I could even switch it over to, say, Spanish. And here in California, we kind of learn like the Mexican Spanish. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch it to Mexican Spanish. And here I can change the language and accent that the text is read in. So I'm going to switch to Zira. Great. So now, if I want to, I can just click on this little icon and I can say, quiero practicar mi español. Si hago un error, por favor, corregirme.
Por supuesto. Estoy aquí para ayudarte a practicar tu...
That sounded awful, and then I realized I accidentally picked Zira in English. So let's pick Sabina.
Por supuesto. Estoy aquí para ayudarte a practicar tu español.
Well, that didn't work out so well. I'm done showing off. So let's go ahead and switch to Filipino, or Tagalog, but, you know, default it's called Filipino. And because there's no voice pack in Microsoft, I gotta choose a default English speaking one. I don't have to, but, you know. So now I can go ahead and speak in Tagalog here. Oh, man, I mean, gusto ko mag-aral Tagalog. And as you can see, there is a response in Tagalog. It understood what I was trying to say. And something that's interesting, it is in pure Tagalog. Bakit puro Tagalog na lang? Diba, mas maganda sa Taglish. I don't know if that's actually true, but I feel like that's more common, or at least now, because there's a lot of words that are malalim and that like Filipinos might not actually know.
Magandang tanong. Ang paggamit ng Talish, Tagalog English, ay karan iwan sa Pilipinas, at maraming tao ang ginagamit ito sa pang-araw-araw.
Okay, well, the benefit of using Microsoft English is that it comes with the benefit of the pronunciation of local artistas in the Philippines. So at least I'll sound natural one way or another. Ang sarap yon. Although I'm curious, what does it sound like if I had like Spanish? What do you got to say, Sabina?
Magandang tanong. Ang paggamit ng Taglis, Tagalog English, ay karaniwan sa Pilipinas.
Philippines. Okay, well, that was an interesting find. I mean, that is actually a lot closer to like what Tagalog actually sounds like. So maybe moving forward, I might use a Spanish speaker just so it doesn't feel lonely, like I'm not talking to anyone. And finally, we have the coveted Anki system. With Anki, I have flashcards. I downloaded a preset of cards, and they come with voice lines.
Mas gusto kong inaaral ang mga halaman kaysa sa mga hayop.
That is such decks that I added myself based on the games that I'm playing at the moment. I kind of want to learn Tagalog words that are relevant to the game, because if they're relevant to the game, that means I am more likely to use that word over and over again. For example, now, in Honkai Star Rail, I'm going to add that card. Unlucky. And Mas. Add that. Boom. So that was my idea. So now when I play like Star Rail, I'll say like, oh man, that was unlucky, or now in the future, yeah, exactly like what you said, I can say malas lang. Now, with such a huge variety of tools at my disposal, that doesn't mean that there aren't obvious issues. So like some of the issues are like with a pre-downloaded deck, I might learn phrases that I'll probably never use in my life, which is kind of pointless to learn.
Madulas ang punda ng unan.
Madulas ang puta. What is it?
Madulas ang punda ng unan.
Pundan, okay. Unan. Is that... Unan. Is that pillow? Ulam is food, right? Ulam? I think that's food. What is... No, rain.
Madulas ang punda ng unan.
No, ulan is rain, right? Not unan. Okay. Ulam is food. Ulan is rain. What is unan? The
Madulas
pillowcase is smooth. You know, the best thing to do when learning a language is to like use words that you would use every day. I don't even know if I've said this in my life.
Binalot siya sa kumot.
Good, got it.
Madulas ang punda ng unan.
Madulas ang ulam. What was it?
Madulas ang punda ng unan.
What was madulas? I feel like if I remembered what madulas was, I would remember what the rest of that sentence was. I got nothing.
Madulas ang punda ng unan.
Alright, that's the sentence. You guys are just telling me I should remember. That stupid pillowcase. Why would I know that? The pillowcase is slippery? Is that what madulas means? Is there a better word for smooth? Makinis. Makinis versus madulas. Okay. Makinis versus madulas. It almost sounds like a court case that I'm looking up. Makinis puede ka madulas. Okay, well, that's not very helpful. There's a pair of legs. I don't understand.
Madulas ang punda ng unan.
I do remember this though. Madulas unan pillow, madulas smooth. My pillow is smooth, or the pillowcase is smooth. Sorry.
Madulas ang punda ng unan. 10 oras na akong nagising. 10 oras na akong nagising.
10 oras na in 10 hours.
10 oras na akong nagising.
10 horas? Yeah. 10 oras na.
10 oras na akong nagising.
I will get up in 10 hours, is my guess. Nagising, to get up. Or my awakening will be in 10 hours.
10 oras na akong nagising.
10 horas. I'm fucking sleep. 10 horas. I got the wake up part right. Or decks include lyrics to smash hit songs like the ones that I thought everybody in the Philippines listened to every single day, like Bebot. You know, I remembered Ganin when I was in the Philippines because I got confused with Ganin and Kanan, and you have rice and right. So Kanin, Kanan, rice, right. That's how I remember that. Kanin, Kanan, as opposed to Kaliwa, left. And then I think you have a restaurant, Baliwag. I think that's what it's called. Baliwag. Is Baliwag now I think it's a restaurant. There we go. Oh, maybe it's a type of lechon. Whatever. Also, there are moments where Google Translate might not be the best tool, but in that same vein, there are also words that lack an actual translation, or rather, you can't really describe it. Google Translate, like a strong desire, stunned. I disagree. Trembling, thrilling. See, this is a good point. There are words that exist in other languages that cannot be described in English. And to lose a language would be to lose words like this. Things that literally, for example, this is like George Orwell's 1985. Like if you remove the word hot, right? Like if you removed it from everyone's vocabulary, removed it from the dictionary, you could describe it as not cold. You could still describe the feeling, but there is no word to describe exactly what you mean. It would be a tragedy to lose a language. for things exactly like this. There's something that you can't describe. Like you want to pinch the baby's cheeks, right? I can't think of an English word like this compulsion to do something like that. Desire. Or crave, perhaps? How would I just... I'm craving your beauty for reals. So obviously the best solution is to talk to actual people. They will use the Tagalog that people actually use, Taglish, or phrases that you'll use every single day. Balot sold kanto. I remember kanto because one of the girls that I was talking to told me to look up the word kanto boys, and I did. And it's like a boy band in the Philippines. And I was like, are you telling me to join a boy band? He's like, what? And I'm like, I looked up Kanto Boys, and it's a boy band. She's like, no, it means like bum. I was like, oh. I didn't... Are you calling me a bum, or are you telling me to join this boy band? Wait, you didn't know it was a boy band, or you didn't know it meant a bum? Because you're not going to see a picture of a bum. Right? Like, if somebody's like, look it up, obviously this is what I'm going to do. Kanto Boys. I'm like, oh, great. Like, it's a boy band. All right. Do you want me to join or something? Kanto Boys Junior, right? It's like, all right. Malambot ang unan.
Malambot ang unan.
The pillow is soft. Oh, also, another really cool thing is, or sorry, not a cool thing, but another thing that I wanted to ask you as like a native Tagalog speaker. There are words that I feel Filipinos might not actually use anymore. Like, I actually don't know. I'm going to guess that unan is pillow in this sentence, but I'm going to guess that most Filipinos use the word pillow and not unan. Is that right? You know? Like, I don't want to learn useless words. Oops. Rarely use English when communicating with fellow countrymen. That's good to know. I feel like a lot of the Filipinos that, at least that I've talked to, use like Taglish. Ouch. So, you know, they would say like, malambot ang pillow. I want to get to a level that I'm comfortable enough where I am with, say, Spanish, where I can talk about the weather, I can ask for help, I can ask about several different things. That level of fluency is probably something that is bare minimum if you want to take a trip to maybe, say, a Spanish-speaking country, and I want to be at that level with my Tagalog. And I'm going to try to set a goal for about 3 months from now, and we'll see how that goes. But for now, you can catch me trying to learn Tagalog on streams, so check me out if you have some time. If you like what you see here, in the meantime, I'll continue to make videos. I know it takes a lot of time. The thing is, I have to record videos, edit them myself. I do skits, I do all the shooting and the editing and etc. I do everything on my own, so it does take a little bit of time. If you're impatient and you want to see me mess around, follow me on Twitch. All my links are going to be in the description down below. I'm going to go ahead and let some highlights play that I found really funny, but if you want to get out of here, I understand. And in the meantime, wherever you are in the big wide world, thanks for watching. Have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Now, we just heard the word like gigisin, something like to get up.
Tinanghali ang gising ko.
But that doesn't sound the same.
Tinanghali ang gising ko.
My awakening was at noon. There ain't no way, bro. I've never said that in my life. I don't even know when I would use that. My awakening was at noon. I woke up at noon. Okay. That sounds a lot better. I've been awoken. Dude, now you're learning with me, man. If you ever go to the Philippines, you'll know that your awakening was at noon. Tinanghali ang gising ko.
Mabuti ang panaginip ko.
Oh. They just use a word for a dream. I had a good dream. My dream is good.
Mabuti ang panaginip ko.
Yes, yes. Good.
Maaga akong gigising.
My booty is good, dude.
Matulog ka ngayon din.
It's hard because I can't properly hear the NG, or if it's just a hard G, like matulong or matulog.
Matulog ka ngayon din.
Ayon din. Now what I'm hearing, and you probably hear something else because you're familiar with the language, but what I'm hearing is
Matulog ka ngayon din.
matulog ayon.
Matulog ka ngayon din.
Matulog ka ayon din. So he's sleeping there as well. That's what I'm hearing.
Matulog ka ngayon din.
Okay, like I didn't hear that. Matulog ka na ngayon din.
Matulog ka ngayon din.
Did you hear that, Mac? Did you hear that sentence? Matulog ka na ngayon din?
Matulog ka ngayon din.
I still don't even hear it. Na was not pronounced.
Matulog ka ngayon din.
But did you hear this? Ngayon din? I'm curious, like I'm genuinely asking because it's interesting to see if like your ears are tuned to, damn, that's crazy. I still don't hear this.
Matulog ka ngayon din.
See, I thought whatever the robot was saying, you're sleeping ayon din over there as well.
Matulog ka ngayon din.
That's crazy. I can't hear that. I cannot hear that. Matulog ka ngayon. Ngayon?
Matulog ka ngayon din.